divided. They have cryptogams and phanerogams. Cryptogams, in that we see algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes. In phanerogams, there are two types, okay, gymnosperms and angiosperms. Okay, in angiosperms is also two types, in that monocot and dicot. Dicot, they have the taproot system, okay, and they also have the reticulate venation. Okay, monocots, they will have the fibrous roots and also they'll have the parallel venation in their leaves. Okay, isn't it right? Do you all remember this? Do you all remember these things? Yes, I think no need to repeat again. Any doubts still here from yesterday's topic? Any doubts? So, any doubts unnaya last class lo? If any doubts are there, you can ask me. Okay. Next, coming with Animalia. How they are divided? They divided into two types. Okay, Animalia, all the animal kingdom. Okay, divided into two types. They are invertebrates and vertebrates. Okay, vertebrates means they'll have, we are the vertebrates, and we have the vertebral column, like supporting one. Okay, what does the invertebrates? Okay, ma'am. Today you're taking, I'm not taking two classes, only one class I'm taking. Only one class. I don't take. Okay? Invertebrates. Invertebrates, they don't have the vertebral column. Simple. This is a vertebral column. That's by spinal cord also we will say, right? Okay? Invertebrates, vertebrates. What are the phylums we see under the invertebrates? This is there in your 9th standard too. Like Porifera. What are the phylums? Okay? Porifera, Cnidaria, Platyhelminthes. Okay, Annelida, Annelids, Annelida. Next, Arthropoda. Next, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata. Second classes is very interesting. What is it? Second classes? Echinodermata. Next, Hemichordata and Chordata. See, in 9th standard for you, these two are there. This notes you will send in the. Yes, I will send. I have already, my part is done. I gave the prokaryotic cell and also cell notes, and meanwhile I'll also give notes for this. Do you all get that notes? The last one? Have you got the notes for the last class? No? Okay. We'll surely provide it. Next, hemichordata and chordata. So actually in 9th standard, actually these two phylums are there as a separate one, but in the intermediate level, under the invertebrates only, we will study all these phylums are taken under the invertebrata. You will study all these phylums in the invertebrates. They are taken into consideration into the one vertebrates. Okay, not as a separate phylum. Okay, these hemichordata and also chordata, they're also taken into the invertebrates, not as a separate one, as like chordates. Okay, porifera see here how the animal organization have been taken place here is basing on the organization from cell to tissue level to organ level. See, this is the tissue level to the organ level. I'll say in detail too. Okay, how they are originated from cell to the tissue level. In vertebrates, you see the vertebral column. Here, porifera, example, sponges. All the sponges you see in porifera, Cnidaria, like Hydra, example. Next, Platyhelminthes. You see your tapeworm, annelids, earthworm, all the earth. Next, arthropods. You see even legs like cockroaches, insects you will study like molluscans, all the shells, Echinodermata. Here you will see the starfish like that. Then hemichordate and chordata members also, notochord, having organelle. Having organisms. And when vertebrates, what you see is species, means fishes, amphibians, then reptiles, aves. Okay, aves, you see here mammals. Okay, here the organization is increased. Okay, definite organ system you can see here. Aves is a birds, means all the crawling organisms, and reptiles. You see lizards, amphibians, and frogs. Both they live under the land and also the water. Those you study in amphibians. Fishes means the fishes here. Mammals, all the mammary gland containing organisms which give birth to the young ones come under the mammals. Okay, this is about the general output, general outlook of the Animalia kingdom. When I go with each and every phylum, okay, I'll discuss in deep. Okay, these are the phylums. Okay, just you note down their names. When I go with each and every phylum, I'll tell their classification, I'll tell their characters, their examples, okay? And their organization too. Okay, finished? If you have finished, we'll go with the monerans. Yes, done. Okay, be attentive, all of you. Take your books and pens, pencils, sit properly, sit aside, come apart from your others. Ma'am, can you pronounce the second phylum? Cnidaria. 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 C is silent. Cnidaria. Cnidaria. Once again, I'll repeat the things. Okay. Porifera, Cnidaria, Platyhelminthes, annelids, arthropoda, mollusca, echinodermata, hemichordata, and chordates. All these are the invertebrates because they don't have the vertebral column, and their organization also will increase from one phylum to another phylum. How they are arranged like one tree. A tree ela untundi from root to the shoot laga, their organization is also will increase from tissue cell to the organ system level. See, in porifera you only see the cells, while coming to the mammals we can see the organ system, means like in between we have all the other phylums. అర్థమవుతుందా? The starting initial one here, the porifera to animal in the animal system classification. And in vertebrates, okay, fishes means the fishes will come, okay, reptiles, amphibians means both they live into the water and also the terrestrial or systems, reptiles, okay, aves, mammals, okay. Next, take one breathe, okay, attentive, make yourself free. Next, today's class, first one is about the first kingdom is the Monera. Monera is the kingdom Monera. See, in 9th standard, what they have given you is like, they have given you like characters. They have given the characters, that's all. Okay, not, they did not give the classification and their characters too. See, one thing I want to tell you, Monera, they are the prokaryotes. They are the prokaryotes and also unicellular. Prokaryotes and unicellular. Okay. Unicellular means single cell organism. Prokaryotic means they don't have the nucleus. Instead of nucleus, they have the nucleus and also the plasmid genetic material. Clear is that? The first class also I told you one thing. Except the Moneran, all other like Protista, fungi, plantae, animalia, all are, these are eukaryote. Okay. What are all this? They are eukaryotic. What they are? Eukaryotic. Okay. Except the Moneran. This is one bit in the meat. The last. Okay. Protista is which type? Is that is prokaryote or is that is eukaryote? Okay. It's a eukaryote. But the difference between these two here means it's eukaryotic unicellular. Okay, eukaryotic and unicellular it is. Eukaryotic unicellular is a Protista. All other these three are the multicellular. And in fungi, it is one exception is yeast. Yeast, Saccharomyces cerevisium. Yeast is unicellular again. This is a cell type. What is a cell type? These are all the cell type. What kind of a cell they are? Okay, what kind of a cell they are? Monerans, they are the prokaryotes and unicellular. Protista is a eukaryotic unicellular. See here the exception is all other are the eukaryotic multicellular. Multicellular means multiple cells, numerous cells, number of cells. Okay, unicellular means single cell. Though it is a single cell, it has the ability to perform all other functions. It will control all the functions of the cell, okay, of an organism. Though it is a single, it can do all activities. Okay, here multicellular means all the cells they associate and they function together. This is the multicellular. Understood? Understood is this? And coming to the nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane present. If you see the nuclear membrane, it is absent. Here, that is absent. In all, it is present. Why it is present in all? Because all these are the eukaryotic, as they have the nucleus and nuclear membrane. Only the moneron, as it is a prokaryote, it doesn't have the nuclear membrane. Okay. Clear is this column. If you want to write here, here also you can write like this, like one column. Okay. And coming to the organization, coming to the body organization, this is the body organ: unicellular, unicellular, multicellular, multicellular to multicellular. When we talk about the nuclear membrane, that doesn't have the nuclear membrane. Okay. And next, and coming to the cell wall. Coming to the cell wall, here peptidoglycan or some other okay, some other polysaccharide, okay, some other non polysaccharide or any amino acid, polysaccharide or any other amino acid here. Okay, if they are present in few, if they're present, very few. Okay, in some members they may contain, present in only few members. Then fungal cell wall, it is made up of chitin, and sometimes it is without cellulose, present without cellulose. Your cell wall, generally chitin, if present also, no matter. Plantae, cellulose. Animals, they don't have this cell wall. Here you can write without cellulose. Present in some. Ma'am, can you please go with one phylum after one phylum? Which one? Which one? Yeah, which one, Anna? Okay. Yeah, one after the other, I'll tell. Okay, this is the basic general things which I have known and in the last classes. That's why I generally gave the difference. Okay, 3 things is enough. Okay, except the moneron, all are eukaryotic, but the exception here is eukaryotic. Though it's eukaryotic, it is a unicellular organism. Under this coming to the nuclear membrane, it doesn't have the nuclear membrane, all have the nucleus. Coming to cell wall, peptidoglycan, you saw, right, in Monera. Okay, cell wall of Monera, peptidoglycan, peptidoglycan, peptidoglycan. Had the bit in the last previous test also, right? Okay, if it is present, cell wall is present in few members, not all the members in Protista. Next, cell wall of fungi, it is made up of generally chitin or not chitin, some other material. Next, planting cellulose. Again, animal cells, they don't have the cell wall. Okay. Don't worry if you don't understand also. Okay. Have you taken down? See, except this one, all other are eukaryote. This one is a prokaryote. Nuclear membrane. As this is a prokaryote, no nuclear membrane. All had the nuclear membrane. Here, if it is cell wall, peptidoglycan, bacterial cell. Cell wall, it is, if it is present, it is present in few members. Fungal, chitin. Cellulose, plant cell wall, cellulose. Animalia, they don't have the cell wall. Now understood? Now understood? Yes. Okay, Karthik, where were you, man, yesterday? Where you have gone yesterday? You did not attend the yesterday's class, right? Where were you? Yes. Where were you, Karthik? I have remembered you in the last class. I remember you. In another class. Why in another class? Why in another class? What happened to by PC class? Hmm? Which group you wants to take? Live class from Vedantu. Oh, live class. You have joined even in Vedantu also. Yeah, okay, good. Next, kingdom Monera. It is divided into 4: Archaebacteria, Eubacteria, Mycoplasma, Actinomycetes. First one is Monera. They are the prokaryotes. Once again, I'm saying unicellular. So first one in that subkingdom Monera, in this Archaebacteria. What are Archaebacteria? What are Archaebacteria? These monerans, they can live in most harsh conditions. Under the Monera, we have 4 types. First one is Archaebacteria. This is also a type of bacterium. They can live in most harsh conditions. Okay. These are the special monerans. These are the special monerans, can live in most harsh conditions. Okay, these are the special monerans. They can live in most harsh conditions. ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారు? What kind of monerans we see in Archaebacteria? They are the bacterial family members. Okay, these are the special monerans, can live in most harsh conditions. Harsh means very tough conditions, like high temperature, high salt conditions, high damp conditions. Okay, it will be very difficult to survive. Those are called the harsh conditions. Okay, these bacteria can live in most extreme harsh conditions. Okay, and we also give names to the bacteria which live under these harsh conditions. If extreme salt, If they are living in extreme salty condition, okay, extreme salty condition, those are called halophiles. What we call this? Harsh salt. Salt means near the seashores or salt conditions, more salt. What we call this? Halophiles. Emantam, these are bacterial names. Other names. What we call this term? That bacteria is halophiles. Okay. Next, if they are living in hot springs, like hot springs or hot springs, very hot conditions, very hot, yeah, thermoacidophiles. They are called thermoacidophile. Thermo means temperature, they can resist to the temperature. Acidophile is their pH, that as they can live in most acid conditions to most pH below the 7. Okay, those are the thermoacidophiles. These are the terms or the names. What if they are living in that condition? Okay, we call it as halophiles. Halophiles mean the bacteria which live under the. I can write if you want to write in some sentence. The bacteria which live under the most salty conditions, most extreme salty conditions are called halophiles. Examples no need for you. And hot springs means most hot areas like volcanoes, that more like in that condition also they can even resist, they can live in that condition also. Generally normal bacteria, if you see, general example is we boil the water, right? Why we boil our water before we drink? Because so that we can kill all the germs or the bacteria. But there are some bacteria, generally they will degrade, means they will die. Okay, they can't live into the most harsh or conditions. But some bacteria, they can live in most extreme conditions also, like salt conditions also, like hot springs also. Okay, generally we to put our pickles, right, we put more salt. Why we add salt? Because so that no bacteria can live in that most salty condition, but this bacteria can live under the most salt conditions. Is that the halophiles? అర్థమవుతుందా? జనరల్ బ్యాక్టీరియా ఏంటంటే హై సాల్ట్ కండిషన్స్ కానీ లో హాట్ స్ప్రింగ్స్ టెంపరేచర్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటే they can be killed. But some bacteria exceptions, these are the, so we give the names here. Next, and why we put our vegetables in the refrigerator? Because why in minus degrees? Because no living organism can't grow in minus degrees. Okay, preservative. Next one. And clear is this? These two is clear? Yes. Shravya, Kruti, and Niharika, Tanushri. Once again, I'm repeating. Monerans, they are the prokaryotic unicellular. When we get into the monerans, the first one is archaebacteria. What kind of organisms you see under this is special monerans. They can live in most very tough conditions, very high conditions, okay, harsh conditions. Okay, we also give the names. If they are living in salt conditions, those are called halophiles. They can resist to that. Next, they are living in most hot condition. They are called thermoacidophiles. Next one. if they are living in damp conditions like marshy conditions, marshy areas, marshy areas, marshy areas ante nothing but damp conditions like wet conditions. If they are living, that bacteria which can live even in the marshy areas, we give one term here. These are called methanogens. Methanogens. Methanogens will release the methane gas. Methane gas. Methane gas is nothing but the biogas. Gobar gas, Vinara. That is what the methane gas. Clear? These things are. Yeah, gobar gas. We can cook. Yes. See, whatever, if it is clear. Okay. Is this clear? Understood this? Yes. Next one. See, coming to the methanogens here. What are methanogens? Methanogens, they're the bacteria. They can live in the several methanogens. They can live in the gut. They live in the gut of ruminant animals, the ruminant cattle. Okay. Ruminant animals such as cows, buffaloes. Okay. These methanogens, several methanogens, ma'am, why Archaebacteria has struck? I'll tell Karthik, I'll come Karthik. I'll tondar padaku. Ardhamavutunda? I'll explain. Okay? I'll explain. Wait. Let others also listen first of all. Okay? They live in the gut of the, they can live in the gut of the ruminant animals such as cows and buffaloes. Okay, they have the ability to digest the food, and also methanogens, where as they are in the gut of the, okay, gut means nothing but stomach of the cows and buffaloes. Okay, when they excrete the dung, okay, na, when they excrete the dung. Okay, so as the stomach of the gut, stomach of the cow had the methanogens. Okay, what we call here, nothing but methanogens only. Okay, nothing but, so we can expect the methane gas in the dung. Okay, dung, what we can, so we can expect the methane gas. See, in older days or when we go to our villages, what they will do, they used to cook food, isn't it right? With the help of the dung. Okay. Next, and if some villages, they used to have some pits. Pit laga undi, they used to collect the dung and put it in this, and they used to set it for a few days, and further also they used to connect the pipeline so that afterwards the gobar gas, the gas which was released from that dung, from that pit, it was collected, is nothing but the methane gas, nothing but the biogas or gobar gas. It is used as cooking fuel. Cooking fuel. Okay. Why we get how we are getting that methane is because of the methanogens. ఎందుకు మీథేన్ గ్యాస్ వస్తుంది మనకి అంటే కౌస్ బఫెలో స్టమక్ లో మిథనోజన్స్ ఉంటాయి. మిథనోజన్స్ వల్ల when they excrete the dung, stomach lo undi kabatti dung, in the dung also we can expect the presence of methanogens. Okay, they will, okay, or which gas do they release means the methane gas. Okay, and if you go even for villages also, this methane gas is also used for the cooking purpose. Okay, na even manaki dung toni kuda even nowadays now also they used to cook food as a cooking fuel. Okay, and inka konni kuda pit laga chesi all the dried leaves, dung and all the waste matter, they will allow it for 1 month. Okay, next they go for the, then they'll collect the gas from it. Okay, are methanogens good or not? Yes, methanogens are good because they are useful for the biogas. See, when harmful in the sense if they are causing any disease like typhoid, like anything, that things are harmful to us. Otherwise, if they are not harming to others, somewhat in other way they are useful to us, they are the useful bacteria. What is the useful bacteria? What is the harmful bacteria? Harmful bacteria will cause disease like typhoid, cholera. Okay, but the bacteria which is useful for the human being, okay, in somewhat other products or the industrial products or the homemade products, they're used in the, okay, they're used in somewhat other things, they are called the useful bacteria. That's the difference between the useful to the harmful. Okay, understood? Okay, so we see the presence of methanogens in the gut of the animals. Okay, when they excrete the dung, we can expect the methane gas. Enduku methane gas ostundi? Why we are getting the methane gas? Here is the answer. Why? What is the answer? Because they have the methanogens. Because of the methanogens, they release the methane gas. Because of the dung of the animals, we get the methane gas. Production of methane gas. Understood? Understood? No? Yes? Anyone? Still anyone doubt here? Karthik, Niharika. Understood? ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారు? 20 20 ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారు? 18. Okay. Any doubts? Okay. See, if you see the cell structure, see, once again I'm repeating, all these monerans are the unicellular and prokaryote. What is archaebacteria? Bacteria which can live in the most harsh conditions. That bacteria are called archaebacteria. If they're living in salt conditions, those are called halophiles. If they're living in high temperatures, those are called the thermohistophiles. If they are living in damp conditions, most means wet conditions, those are called methanogens. See, as okay, if you see the cell structure, they don't have the peptidoglycan. They don't have the peptidoglycan. They means here bacteria. The cell wall do not have the peptidoglycan. As a cell wall of the bacteria, it is made up of peptidoglycan. Here that doesn't consist of the peptidoglycan. Instead of peptidoglycan, they have another material. Instead of this, they had the pseudomurin. Why pseudomurine here? Because as these bacteria, they are living in the most harsh conditions, they need to protect itself from the harsh conditions. Okay na, by the harsh conditions ki escape avalante, resistance ga undalanante, peptidoglycan is not enough. Okay, that's why they have moved to pseudomurine. Understood, Karthik? It can give the resistance. Okay, it can live in the most harsh conditions. Cell అనేది త్వరగా rupture కాదు, cell wall. Understood, Karthik? Yeah, okay. If you want to see the structure, Google it. What is pseudomurine? Okay. Composition. What is the composition of the pseudomurine? Why it is there? Okay, that's why the cell wall is. Okay. Next one. Instead of peptidoglycan, we have the pseudomurine. Next, and coming to the cell membrane also. Coming to the cell membrane also. Here we have branched means numerously branched chain lipids also. They are also like branched one means like this, branches. Why it is not simpler? Because ఎందుకు ఇలా ఉన్నాయి? Because they need to live in most harsh conditions లో ఉండాలి కాబట్టి, రెసిస్టెన్స్ కావాలి కాబట్టి, ఈజీగా సెల్ అనేది డైజెస్ట్ అవ్వకూడదు కాబట్టి, ఈజీగా సెల్ అనేది ఉంటారు చచ్చిపోకూడదు కాబట్టి, దే యూస్ టు హ్యావ్ ది సెల్ మెంబ్రేన్ అండ్ ది సెల్ వాల్. ఓకే, responsible for the survival of the organism even in the most harsh conditions. That is the reason for changing from peptidoglycan to the pseudomurine. As I said in the prokaryotic one also, some bacteria members, they may contain the peptidoglycan, some others will have the pseudomurine, some other will have the mycolic acid. Okay, అన్ని బ్యాక్టీరియాకి పెప్టిడోగ్లైకనే ఉండాలని లేదు. There is also some other material. Instead of this, you have the pseudomurine అని ఉంటుంది, mycolic acid అని ఉంటుంది. Their composition may differ. Why means this is the reason. Understand? So that's it about the Archaebacteria. Close here. That's enough. And coming to the plasmid also, it is a single loop. Aroju Karthik no nannu adigavu kada, you have the madam correct, is that the plasmid is present? What I said, no, isn't it? No true plasmid in the sense double circular one, right? Here it will have the single loop. Did you remember this, Karthik? On that day, Archaebacteria, madam, plasmid, does it have? Yes, but here the single loop plasmid అనేది ఉంటుంది దీనికి. Single loop plasmid. Loop in the sense, this is what the loop, right? Ila loop, single loop, not double. Okay, not double. Single loop plasmid. And genetic material also ఉంటుంది దీనికి. Genetic material kuda undi. Genetic material also, it had the genophore. Okay, DNA is a genetic material, but no histones. Histones are absent in the prokaryotic cell. Once again, I'm repeating, histones are absent in prokaryotic cell. It's a protein. In eukaryotic cell, histones are present. So rest all the same. Here, once again, I'll repeat. In Archaebacteria, they don't have the peptidoglycan. Instead of peptidoglycan, they have the pseudomurine. Okay, cell membrane also branched lipid చాలా ఎక్కువ లిపిడ్ ఉందంటే easily it cannot be digested, easily it cannot be killed. So that's why they need to live in the most harsh condition. Their composition is like this. Okay, they have differentiated themselves like this. This is coming to plasmid, is a single loop plasmid, and genophore is a genetic material. These are DNA. So that's it about the archaebacteria. Doubts ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా నాన్న? Karthik, are you asking the doubts in Vedantu? Are you asking the doubts in Vedantu? అడుగుతున్నావా డౌట్స్ వేదాంతులో? Yes. ఏ కార్తిక్ అడుగుతున్నావా? Are you asking the doubts in Vedantu? Yes. Next one. Can I clear it? Does anyone have doubt in this? Does anyone have doubt? Okay. Next one is about the eubacteria. Okay. Next one is eubacteria. Eubacteria. Next one, eubacteria. From this biological classification, definitely there are 2 to 3 questions. Okay. Shall we start? Yes. Shall we start the eubacteria? Yeah. This eubacteria, U means true. Bacteria. There's a true bacteria. All the true characters what you have seen in the prokaryotics and bacterial cells, what are all the characters you see in this eubacteria? All the characters of bacterial cell. The characters of bacterial cell you observe in this are present in eubacteria. Simple. True bacterial characters. Okay, bacteria ki undavalsina character or the prokaryotic character. Okay na? Indilo undi in eubacteria. These are we call it as bacteria, exact bacteria, true one. Why it had the true one? Because all the characters which I have discussed in the prokaryotic will be in the, see like example is cell wall. Cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. Okay. Next it will have the plasma membrane. Okay. Plasma membrane. Okay. Phospholipids they are. Okay. You also see the presence of mesosomes. Mesosomes untai. Next you will see the ribosomes. You will see ribosomes, nucleoid. Okay. You also see plasmid, glycocalyx. See all the true characters, glycocalyx, even appendages, everything you see under the eubacteria. Why eubacteria means True bacterial characters. What of the characters should have one bacteria? All the characters, they are there in the eubacteria. Archaebacteria is something like the different one when compared to eubacteria. What is the difference between the archaebacteria to eubacteria here? Because they can live in most harsh conditions. Okay, after this, we'll do the difference between two eubacteria and the archaebacteria. What is the difference here? Extreme conditions can live in normal, can live here. Okay, cell wall, here peptidoglycan, there pseudomurin, plasmid is single loop. Here you can see the presence of plasmid, DNA genetic material, no histones in both the here. Okay, and cell wall is also coming to plasma membrane. There it is. Chain, branch lipid chain. Here it is phospholipid bilayer. Okay, all the characters, true characters, nenu prokaryote cheppinappudu emaithe characters unnayo, all they are applicable to eubacteria. All these are applicable. Applicable means all are there. Understood? Is anyone having doubt? Is anyone having doubt on this? Yeah. The others? Others? Understood. Okay. Others? Only 3 or 4 members are responding. What happened to others? One Varshant is there, Neha is there, Sanvi Reddy. I didn't hear any response from Sanvi Reddy till now. Sanvi Reddy, you are active in, okay, no doubts. Next. See, coming to the shape. What are the other things we discuss in eubacteria is shape. As they are the true bacteria, their shape also we need to discuss, right? If we talk about the shape here, they differs in shape of the bacteria. Okay, if they're present in rod shape, like rod like this is a rod shape, those are we call the term as bacillus. Basing on the shape, we also give the term bacillus bacteria. Lactobacillus means rod shape bacteria. Lactobacillus, rod shape. Okay, if the bacteria present in circular, like this, circular, like oval shape or circular, it is called that bacterial colony, or that bacteria is called Coccus bacteria. Bacillus, spherical shape, yeah, circular or spherical, you can, yeah, spherical, you can, circle or spherical. Next, if they are present in comma shape, this is the comma, right? Like this comma, this is the comma shape, comma. Okay, it's called the Vibrio. It's called the Vibrio. Yeah, spiral no. And also a spiral shape like this, like spiral. Okay, like one spiral laga ila unte, like this, like spiral. It's called spirulum. You see, I think it's spirulum. Like spring, make a spring along the spiral. Ila undi kada. Like thing. Let's call this spiral shape. Okay. Vibrio, ఇది విబ్రియో ఏంటంటే విబ్రియో కలరా బ్యాక్టీరియా విబ్రియో కలరా means basing cholera bacteria, comma shape bacteria. When you come across this coccus bacteria or vibrio bacteria, you need to get this shape. Rod, this bacillus, spherical or circular, this coccus. Okay, comma, like if the bacteria is in comma shape, those are called vibrio. Next, if they are in spirulum, those are called the spirulum bacteria. Okay. And basing on the nutrition, bacteria are of two types, autotrophic and heterotrophic. Autotrophic bacteria, which can live under, which can prepare their own food materials. Heterotrophic bacteria are nothing but which live under the, which live under the host, depend on other organisms. This is basing on shape, the bacteria divided, basing on shape. Basing on, you want to write it, okay? Basing on shape, the bacteria are of divided. Okay. Once again, I'm repeating. What are eubacteria? That is a true bacterial member. All the bacterial characters you see in this here. Cell wall, plasma membrane, any characters untai. If we talk about their shape, they're of shape. And the bacteria, the true one, we need to know even their shape also. If they are in rod shape, we call it as bacillus bacteria. If they are in like circular, like spherical manner, they are called the coccus bacteria. And if they are in a comma shape, they are called vibrio. Okay, spiral, this is called the spirulum. Clear is this? Yes. Next, basing on the nutrition, I'll say nutrition and I'll close here. Basing on nutrition, bacteria of two types. Autotrophs, heterotrophs. Autotrophs means can synthesize their own food material like photosynthetic bacteria. Heterotrophic means this is based on the nutrition. That is based on the shape, that is based on the bacteria terms. That bacteria may be prokaryotic or unicellular, that bacteria may be autotrophic in the sense they can prepare their own food material. These are all the terms. These are all the characters. Okay. Autotroph means synthesize their food material. Heterotroph means depend. This is the term you come across this from even the second class, third class onwards, right? For autotrophs also we have photoautotrophs, chemoautotrophs. Photo means they use the light, chemo means they use a chemical, organic matter. Okay, here heterotrophs means in heterotrophs also photoheterotrophs we have and also chemoheterotrophs. Generally two types. This till here it is enough. Phototrophs and heterotrophs. Okay. Okay. Autotrophs means prepare their own food material by using light, by using chemical. Chemo means chemical. Yeah. Heterotrophs means depend on other material. You have also the photo light and is also chemical also. So for some people, those who are preparing for the NEET, you can write down. If you want to write down here, you can write it. Okay. This you can write it on. Okay. Energy, bacteria will detect energy and also the organic and energy and also carbon source. Okay. Energy here the light. Okay. Bacteria will depend on both energy and also carbon. Photo means light. Chemo means oxidization of inorganic substances. Inorganic substances like phosphate, you can say, like examples like phosphate, okay, nitrogen, inorganic compounds. Now, organic means what is the difference between organic compound and inorganic compound? Organic compound and the carbon containing compound. This is organic. Rest all the inorganic compound. And carbon dioxide, both from the atmosphere. Atmosphere. Is to under the autotrophs. This is useful for those who are preparing for the NEET. Okay. Then coming to heterotrophs. Heterotrophs, they are of two types again. Photoautotrophs okay. Same. This never change. Same. Then mali right ledo. Light. Organic oxidation. Light. Same. Light oxidation in this. What is oxidation in the sense? A removal of hydrogen or addition of oxygen is inorganic. Same. Okay, అర్థమవుతుందా? These two are same. As their energy is same, Okay, is both are seen. Only the difference here is about the carbon dioxide. Okay, both from the organic compound, organic, not from the atmosphere. Yeah, ma'am, I didn't understood, ma'am. Who did not understood this one? Okay. See, basing on nutrition means whether it can prepare their own food material or whether it can depend on other materials. This is the nutrition types. In the nutrition, autotrophs, heterotrophs. In autotroph, two types: photoautotrophs, chemoautotrophs. Photoheterotrophs, chemoheterotrophs. Any bacteria which live, they want the energy and they want the carbon source. These are the materials. These two materials, there's a bacteria will depend on organic matter. Bacteria came kavali. Bacteria came kavali energy and also carbon source. What are the two sources? One is energy, one is the carbon source. Energy, bacteria energy kavali kada. It might be some other plant. Plant also want the light energy. Like we also depend on food for energy. Like that. We take the oxygen. Okay. Next. This is where carbon source. This is carbon dioxide, right? Carbon source. This is actually the term is the carbon for understanding at total. Carbon source and energy. Photo means light. By using light, we can prepare their own food material. Photoautotrophs. Photo means light. Can prepare their own food material. And then came kavali carbon. Carbon means from atmosphere it will take for carbon source. What is the carbon source? Atmosphere. Next. Chemo means chemical. Okay. What will depend on? It depend on other energy, some inorganic compound మీద dependent, like phosphate ఉందనుకోండి ఒక certain area లో the bacteria will they grow in that, means they want the phosphate. Okay, that's it. Next, autotrophs. You understand this point? Autotrophs, they will take the carbon source from the atmosphere. That's why they are called the autotrophs, because they can prepare their own food material. Food prepare avalante carbon source from, that's why they are called the autotrophs. Autotrophs, they will take the carbon from the atmosphere. Understood? Word లోనే తెలిసిపోతుంది కదా. Atmosphere A autotroph atmosphere is for carbon source. Photo means light, chemo means inorganic material. Understood? Some key points చిన్నగా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి కదా, like some hints like that. Okay, autotrophs means atmosphere. Understood? Light, carbon source, light, inorganic matter, carbon is from atmosphere. Understood? Next, same here. This thing is same like this. Okay, photo means light, same inorganic molecule. Hetero, not auto, means atmosphere undadu, means carbon ekkada untundi, organic molecule. Both are same. As this both are same for this organic molecule. Understood is this light half తీసుకోండి. Light energy, Auto means definitely carbon dioxide. Atmosphere, A, atmosphere, atmosphere. Next, photo, light. This is same. If it is applicable here, this is also applicable here. Organic compound, definitely for carbon source. Definitely carbon only compound. What is inorganic and organic compound? What is difference between inorganic one, organic one? Inorganic means without carbon, all other compounds without carbon is inorganic. What is organic? Carbon containing compounds. All the carbon compounds are organic. So it will take from the organic compounds. Yeah, consisting of carbon. Okay, na? Like fermentation gani, releasing of energy, glucose nunchi, the respiration low. Glucose in that. Okay, na? That's all come under this. Understood this class? This inorganic molecule may be nitrates, ammonia, and another. Inorganic molecule phosphate ayundachu, nitrate. Like you have the nitrifying bacteria, like atmosphere ammonifying bacteria, like rhizobium. But it with different. What is meant with the conversion of atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia? Is there a nitrogen fixing bacteria? It will depend upon this, right? Inorganic ante avve. Inorganic ante enti? Nitrites, nitrate, ammonia. ఇవన్నీ ఏంటివి అవి. ఆర్గానిక్ మాలిక్యూల్ అంటే ఏంటివి? గ్లూకోజ్. ఇవన్నీ ఆర్గానిక్ మాలిక్యూల్. అర్థమవుతుందా? అండర్స్టాండింగ్? ఎస్. Tomorrow will continue. Okay, understood. Simple only, right? Inorganic and enti? Nitrate. Next, that's all. Tomorrow we'll see.